Hey gamers, Maniac here with GameAccess.net. This has been a long time coming, let me tell you something. Back when I first started this website, the first thing I wanted to do was kind of give myself a little bit of a challenge. At the time, I was really obsessed with playing the game Dragon's Lair. Of course, you guys know that as the Don Bluth game, where you play as Dirk the Daring trying to save Princess Daphne from the Dragon Singe.
Dragon's Lair, a fantasy adventure where you become a valiant knight on a quest to rescue the fair princess from the clutches of an evil dragon. You control the actions of a daring adventurer finding his way through the castle of a dark wizard who has enchanted it with treacherous monsters and obstacles.
I mean, seriously, how awesome is that? The animation is beyond cool looking. I love Don Bluth's work. And once I started playing the iPhone version of the game, I actually started getting really good at it. So good, in fact, that I thought maybe I had a chance of being able to actually play through this whole game on one single quarter. I had heard stories about that, about people capable of doing it, but I mean, the game came out back before I was born. I've never seen cabinets and stuff like that of the game on shelves or in arcades. Even back when in the early 90s and stuff, when I used to frequent arcades, I never saw a Dragon's Lair or arcade machine. It never happened. But I had heard that there was a Dragon's Lair arcade machine at the Funspot in New Hampshire with the arcade museum that they have up there. And I naively thought, oh, that's great. I could just do a day trip up to New Hampshire and go do this and play Dragon's Lair, and maybe I'll be able to finally beat it on one quarter and earn my place amongst the great gamers of accomplishing a rite of passage, if you will. And it's been 6 years, and I haven't had a follow-up on that, really. But I'm happy to say that as of this week, I am going up to the Funspot Arcade Museum up in New Hampshire. I'm going to be going with the unknown camera person, and we are going to be playing Dragon's Lair. And today I am going to be doing a lot of practicing, a lot of game practice. I'm going to need a lot of practicing. Right now I've been playing and I'm practicing on the HD version on Blu-ray. I don't have the PS3 or the Wii version, but I have the Blu-ray. And so I've been practicing on that. I'm going to be practicing on this. And hopefully tomorrow, when I finally head up there, I'll be ready. So, wish me luck, won't you? Well, we're on our way to the Funspot. Maniac here. It's about 11:20 in the morning. We're going to probably take another hour to get there. But I'm really excited. I did some practicing last night. Oh, we are just jumping around on the Massachusetts highways. Lots of stuff on the road, but yeah, I spent most of yesterday practicing on the Blu-ray version of the game. I have beaten the game before, mostly the home versions. I've beaten the Blu-ray version. I've beaten the iPhone version. So I do know the moves, but I was a little bit rusty, so I spent most of yesterday trying to brush up on my moves. And I was out of practice, but some of those moves were still pretty, I just needed a reminder of some of these moves. And like the horseman sequence is still left, right. I also, on some of the sequences that flipped, remembered where the best spots to look for the tells are. Like the scene with the knight, where that gets flipped. Or the scene with the water pit and the snakes and the spider. That can get flipped too. And the intros on those are really complicated. The only concerns that I have is I don't know how Funspot programmed the machine they've got. There may be concerns on that. Now, I practice on both random room generation and not random room generation. So if you die in a room, it'll just put you in the same room. But some systems can be programmed where if you die in a room, you'll just go to another random room in the castle and try to beat that one. eventually it'll get to a part where you can't go to a random room anymore once you've beaten a certain amount of rooms. But I don't know how Funspot has their machine programmed, so it'll be interesting to see how well I do on that, or how Funspot has gotten their program. I also programmed it with the expectation of 5 lives per credit. That's what I'm planning on doing. I don't think I could beat this all on 1 life. I'll be honest with you. Even if I've got the moves memorized, even I admit the ports are not 100% because it's impossible to have the ports at 100%. So I'm gonna need 5 lives at least. The other is, I don't know if Funspot's gonna program their machine to cause an instant death, depending upon if the room is not, like, let's say for example, sometimes there's certain arcade versions, certain home versions, where you can hit the right button and still lose because it's at the wrong time. Now, there are certain sequences where that can happen, particularly with the rope swing sequence and in certain spots in the rapid sequence. If you can hit the right button at the wrong, but it's at the wrong time, you're still gonna get a game over. There's certain machines, as far as I know, can be programmed where you have to get it at the right time, but those are not with those sequences where all times, if you hit it at the wrong time, even if it's the right button, can sometimes cause a game over. If that happens, I don't think I'll be able to beat this thing at all, because the home version timings and the arcade version timings, I'm gonna need to be able to spam, because they're split second in some cases. I'm gonna need to be able to spam those correct buttons in some cases. So we're gonna find out exactly if that's gonna be true. If Funspot's gonna program this machine to be more difficult for Maniac to beat, but I may take a couple of attempts. Like I said, I've never played the arcade version before. All my practice has been on home versions, which, while they promise to be arcade accurate, there's just no way of knowing until I finally get my hands on that game. We are almost there. We're just pulling up right now. This is it. I've never been to Funspot before, so this will be exciting to finally see this place for the first time ever. I have no idea which side of the road it's on. I'm being told by the unknown camera person it's on the left side. Okay, we're coming up on the Funspot. I think I see the sign right there. That's it. That's the sign. And this is it. The largest arcade in the world, everybody. You might remember it from the King of Kong. This is it. This is Funspot. We're pulling in right now. Entrance, an American Classic Arcade Museum. Just look at all these freaking awesome collectibles and stuff. Some of this stuff they got hanging up on the walls, especially the posters, but I mean, these arcade machines are freaking awesome. Yeah. I heard there was supposed to be a Dragon's Lair arcade machine in this style, but I don't know if it was ever actually produced, and most people argue that it probably wasn't producible, but who knows. The unknown camera person was nice enough to give me 20 bucks for my first set of quarters. So let's say we get some tokens, shall we? Oh boy. Just freaking look at this place. I mean, seriously. I'm having King of Kong flashbacks right here. They got games from practically every manufacturer from the 80s and 90s all the way up here. That's Nintendo on that end, Sega, Midway, Atari's over here, Tato and Williams. And just look at these freaking awesome posters. Oh, and if you can't hear this in the background, They're playing all kinds of great 80s music in the background. I freaking love it. And yes, they are playing Journey also, so Tron fans will be happy about that. This has got to be the biggest pinball machine I've ever seen in my entire life. This is an actual computer space cabinet. I've been told that this game is so old, the maximum score you can get on it is 16. This looks like an original Pong machine from the 70s or 80s. Nolan Bushnell's company made these, Atari. They were getting jammed up so much because there were so many freaking quarters being put into them that the machine started malfunctioning. This is probably the famous Donkey Kong machine you may have seen in The King of Kong. I'm curious if that's still Steve Wiebe's score. Daytona, yeah. Daytona, let's go again. I think Deadpool would love this little room right here. Hey look, there's the machine. Here's Dragon's Lair. What the? There's no monitor. I think it's out of order. Out of order. I'm sorry, guys. I tried.
In the mysterious caverns below the castle, your odyssey continues against the awesome forces that oppose your efforts to reach the Dragon's Lair.
I came all this way. Now what can I do?
Lead on, adventurer. Your quest awaits.